Nick Rudder for IDSCarCare.com. In this video, I'm going to showcase the Leatherique leather restoration system that consists of Rejuvenator oil and Pristine Clean. These two products have been around for decades, and they've been the go-to products for detailers that are cleaning neglected leather that has not been deep cleaned or conditioned in years. Case in point, this is my 2004 Mazda 6, and it has the leather option, and these seats, they've never been deep cleaned, they've never been conditioned properly. So I'm going to use this system to bring back this leather, because right now it's kind of stiff and crunchy and it just feels dirty. So this is a very unconventional two-step system that is applied the complete opposite of your traditional leather cleaner and your leather conditioner. So step number one is the rejuvenating oil, and step number two is the Pristine Clean. And if you're thinking, well, why are you putting an oil on before you clean it? Well, that's what makes this unconventional. See, traditional leather care products, you apply the Pristine Clean or the cleaner to clean the seats, and then you condition them. Well, with this system, what you do is you work the rejuvenating oil all over the seats, into the pores. You're real thorough with the stitching, and what happens is it penetrates deep into the leather and it lifts out all the dirt and the grime to the surface, so you can clean it a couple hours later or the next day with the Pristine Clean. So this system, it's all natural. There's no silicone oils, there's no petroleum. These are handmade in very small batches in the USA, and it's an awesome system. So first and foremost, make sure that you vacuum all loose dirt and debris from your vehicle, which I already did. And you can apply this using your bare hands, or what I like to do is I like to apply it with an applicator pad. This is actually a Terry style applicator pad, but a microfiber works equally as well. And I'm going to take the product and shake it up. And if what you received from your order from IDSCarCare.com, if it's a slightly different color, that's perfectly normal, because again, these are 100% natural products, and it's not unusual for the color to vary from batch to batch. So I shook it up, and I'm simply going to apply some of the rejuvenating oil, and you can be sloppy, it's okay. You want to apply a liberal amount, and since these seats are perforated, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the product out on the non-perforated sections first, just to apply a nice even uniform coat, and get the sides of the leather too, don't forget about that, and the front. And then I'll spread it out over the perforated sections. And the Leatherique system, it was originally developed for high-end leather that you're going to find in BMW and Mercedes and Audi products, but when you're working on a conventional non-luxury vehicle like this Mazda, it works equally as well, even though this is what you would consider a coated leather. So Leatherique is beneficial and safe for coated and non-coated leather. And apply more as needed. And this product, it does not have any kind of petroleum, there's no silicone oils, there's nothing bad in this formula. It simply restores the pH balance to the leather, it penetrates deep into the surface, and it lifts all the dirt and the grime, so you'll clean it preferably the next day, although it can be a couple hours later with the Pristine Clean. And when you're applying this, it's not unusual for the material to look very glossy or even get kind of tacky. And Leatherique, they are very clear with their instruction when they tell you to use about 3 to 4 ounces per seat. So you really want to apply this liberally. Don't be shy, because the more you apply, the more that soaks into the leather, and the more effective it is for lifting all the dirt and the grime and the body oils to the surface. So this Mazda has spent its entire life in the state of Florida, and what happens in Florida is you tend to sweat, you perspirate more, so the oils and the salt from your skin, it wreaks havoc on your leather, and it causes a lot of issues down the road. So this will especially be beneficial for this Floridian vehicle. So I'm going to apply it like this, and it's already starting to absorb. And I can't forget the headrest here, because the headrest often, believe it or not, is the dirtiest, because if you have hairspray or hair gel, and you perspirate from your head, it gets on the headrest as well. So the next step is to apply the Pristine Clean, but what Leatherique recommends at this point is to let the vehicle bake in the sun for a couple hours, which in Florida is not an issue. I'm going to pop the sunroof open on my Mazda, just the shade, not the actual sunroof. And the inside of a car gets really hot anyway. Right now it's towards the end of April and it's about 85 degrees outside. With the doors and the windows shut, this will bake for a couple hours and the oil will penetrate into the leather. And the next day, or if I decide to do this a couple hours later, I'll follow with the Pristine clean, which I'll show you next, and that'll clean the top layer of the oil off that has lifted all the gunk to the surface, and the leather will look and feel great. So one thing that a lot of guys have done over the years that I've seen, if you want to get really extreme with this, if you're working on light colored leather, like in a BMW or Audi or Mercedes that's in really rough shape, they'll actually turn the heat on, they'll turn the car on, turn the heat on, and they'll use saran wrap and completely cover the seats. I'm not going to that extent. This is a daily driver. I'm trying to keep this simple. So I'm going to let this bake, and then I'll see you in a couple hours for step 2. So it's been 24 hours, and the rejuvenating oil has clearly absorbed into the seat. When I initially applied it, it was a wet, smeary looking mess, but that's perfectly normal like I mentioned. It's been baking in the Florida sun for 24 hours, and now when I feel it, there's a little bit of tackiness, which is perfectly normal. That's the dirt and grime that is lifted to the surface. Because again, the rejuvenating oil is step 1. You apply that, it penetrates deep below the surface, lifts the dirt and grime, and then the next step is to use Pristine Clean. And just to reiterate this fact, when you receive your bottle, it might be a slightly different color than this. That's perfectly normal. This is an all-natural product. No two batches look alike. You can apply this one of two ways. You can dispense it into a secondary spray bottle and you can spray it on, or I'm going to do it as it comes from the factory with a dispensing top here. Take the lid off and you can pour it directly onto an applicator pad like so, and you're simply going to clean the top of the leather. And just like I apply the rejuvenating oil to the smooth portion first instead of the perforated section, I'm doing that with the cleaner as well, and then I will go over the perforated section so I'm not clogging the pores with an excess of cleaner or rejuvenating oil. So, and with this step, you're removing the top layer of oil that has lifted all the dirt and the grime to the surface. And you can also take the product and you can kind of wet the surface and then take a soft bristle brush like this one, and you can use that as well. This is a Tampico brush. It's very soft. It's not going to scratch the leather. I would not recommend using a nylon bristle brush because it's just too aggressive and it'll scratch the leather. So do that. And I'm applying this cleaner liberally because I really want to get in there and clean the seat. So I'm going to wet the surface. And I'm a big fan of using the brush, so I'm going to take my brush and I'm gently agitating the surface. This is removing, again, 18 years of body oils, dirt, and grime. And if you have the luxury of the time, this is by far the most effective leather treatment system for an older vehicle. Now, if your car is 6 months old, it's not going to make a difference, but for an older vehicle, it's great. If you have a newer car, what I would recommend using is the Leather Shampoo 7030 by McKee's 37, followed by their leather conditioner. That's a great system for a newer vehicle. So I agitated the leather Pristine Clean, and I'm simply going to wipe it off. And I intentionally chose a white towel because in theory, if the products worked as they're designed to, this towel, the dirt will be clearly visible on this white towel. So I wiped off the cleaner, and holy smokes, check that out. So the towel used to be white, and that's all the dirt, the grime, the body oils, the mystery stains, the salt from the previous owner's skin, all of that penetrated deep into the leather, and a traditional leather cleaning system would require a ton of time to remove, and frankly, it wouldn't be as effective because you're just spending a few minutes, where this, I let the rejuvenating oil penetrate for 24 hours. So big difference, and the leather feels so much better too. And when I squeeze it, it has this softness and it's flexible, it's pliable. It doesn't feel like a plastic school bus seat, you know, like the vinyl when you were a kid. It was really rough and aggressive. This feels much better. So Now it's time to do the back side, and same process. I'm gonna pour some cleaner on here. And if you have an extra spray bottle handy, that is a little less messy than doing it this way. But I like to show products as they come from the manufacturer, because when you buy it from IDS Car Care, we ship it as it comes. We also sell secondary spray bottles, but I want you guys to experience it as the vendor, the manufacturer, intended it to. So I applied it liberally all over the seat. Apply a little bit more. And I'm just going to pat the seat to get the moisture or get the product out of the sponge and onto the seat. And then I'll take my Tampico brush here. And if you're a professional detailer, this is a service that you can really upcharge a customer. It can be very lucrative for you, because chances are no one else in your market that details cars, they probably don't offer a service like this. So if you have a customer that has an older BMW or an older Mercedes or Audi or even something like this Mazda that they really cherish, if you want to blow them away and upsell the best service possible, then the Leatherique system is perfect. So at the back side, and I'm going to flip the towel to a clean section, and we'll see if the back side is as dirty or as the bottom cushion here. So wipe it off. But you can use any towel, to be honest with you. I'm using white so you can see it as a visual indicator. And we have a couple kits at idscarcare.com that have some towels. But it's really important that whatever towel you choose, make sure it's a really high quality towel, because, you know, if you're one of those guys that buys a jumbo pack of towels from the local home improvement store or wholesale retailer, what'll happen is, since they're cheap towels, when you're using a cleaner like this, the dye will bleed from the towel and it'll stain your seat. So don't buy really cheap towels. Buy your towels from idscarcare.com or any other reputable online manufacturer or supplier for car care products. So I wipe the backside, and you can see the dirt there on the towel. It is clearly present that the Rejuvenating oil and the Pristine Clean did a fantastic job on the leather seats in my 2004 Mazda 6. For more information on these products, check out idscarcare.com. If you want a simple yet effective two-step leather care system for an older vehicle, look no further than Leatherique. If you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, and most importantly, shop at idscarcare.com. Our website supports and funds our YouTube channel. I'm Nick Rudder. Take care, God bless, and thank you so much.